Is it time to overhaul the nation's immigration policy? Hey, everybody, it's Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Well, a couple of controversial things coming out of the administration on Wednesday. One of those, the administration targeting affirmative action, which I'll probably talk about in tomorrow's video. But the other piece of news that came out on Wednesday, the RAISE Act. If you haven't heard about this, it's the RAISE Act. It's aiming to replace the current permanent employment immigration framework. I'm reading from Fox Business here, which has been characterized by the Trump administration as a lottery system, with what it's calling a skill-based system that operates on the basis of individual merits. The new competitive application process will favor those who want to immigrate into the United States, will favor those who possess skills that will benefit the U.S. economy, can speak English, and are able to financially support themselves and their families. The measure, which is based on a bill which was developed in Congress by Senator Tom Cotton and Senator David Perdue, would slash the number of legal immigrants admitted into the country by curbing family-based immigration. According to the Department of Homeland Security, over 1 million individuals became permanent residents in 2015. The Trump administration's goal is to prevent low-skilled American workers from being undercut by immigrants with comparable level of expertise. Senator Cotton on Wednesday said the current system puts a downward pressure on people who work with their hands and work on their feet. The White House also believes the transformation could actually raise wages and protect taxpayers by potentially decreasing the number of immigrant families that rely on welfare. More than 50% of all immigrant households receive welfare benefits, while 30% of native U.S. households do. President Trump promised to reform the immigration system through both the campaign and in his first few months of the presidency. The RAISE Act, of course, has to go through both chambers of Congress in order to go into law. So, this has been controversial today. Earlier in a White House briefing, you had a back and forth breakout between CNN's Jim Acosta. He got really upset about this, it seems. You had Jim Acosta who said, wait a minute, he was got into a back and forth with Stephen Miller of the Trump administration and said, wait a minute, what about the Statue of Liberty? And give us your poor, your huddled masses. What about all of this? This isn't the way America should act. We should, I guess, Jim Acosta of CNN wants to allow just about anyone into the United States, while the Trump administration and many Republicans go, wait a minute, maybe a merit-based system isn't such a bad idea. Now, the Trump administration does say that immediate family members, they would obviously be considered, but that this is a merit-based system. Those who learn English, which, by the way, in order to become a citizen, you have to learn English. The administration says, listen, this is what's good for the country. It may not be best for everyone around the world, but it's what's good for our country. There's going to be a lot of back and forth on this. I would be shocked if it actually passed in the U.S. Senate. In fact, I don't know if it'll go anywhere in the U.S. Senate. But it's not totally a bad idea where we bring highly skilled people into the country. And this would, according to the Trump administration, help out American citizens who are having a problem finding work here in the U.S. Don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think it's a racist plan by any means. Jim Acosta from CNN was trying to go to that point that how dare you only want those who speak English? That's not what the law says. What the law says is that would be taken into consideration. That's just one of the many areas that would be taken into consideration if somebody wanted to immigrate into the United States. Let's not forget that many nations around the world have different structures set up if you want to move move into that country. In some areas, you have to have sponsors. You have to have a job lined up and ready to go. You have a lot of Democrats who before have talked about fleeing to Canada when President Trump won the election. What they found out, if they were actually trying to be serious, is that in Canada, you have to be sponsored by somebody. You have to have a job lined up. You have to show that you're going to be able to take care of yourself in order to get into Canada. And there are a lot of nations that are like that. The United States right now we have a president who is looking out for United States citizens first. And I think that is something that a lot of people in the U.S. are actually okay with. What do you think about the new RAISE Act? Do you think it's a racist piece of legislation from the evil Republicans? Or do you think it's common sense legislation that will bring in people and also allow legal immigration for those who are highly skilled and those who are not likely to go on welfare in the United States? Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO. Follow me on Twitter, Chad Hasty Radio. Have a great day.